reports. As long as you're comfortable with that, we can move along.
Thank you, sir. Any questions? Mr. Dalton? Thank you very much. Next is unfinished business. Next on the agenda is new business. Next is privilege of the floor, limited to 3 minutes on items not on tonight's agenda. Yes.
Thank you for letting me come tonight. My name is Julie Inkler. I live in Bradford Shores, and I have the nightmare of having cars end up in my backyard. Adams Road dead ends onto Ironwood, and so drunk drivers just come through Adams, they go over the ridge and into my backyard. This has happened 3 times. They have no insurance, so we pay for everything. This last one, my 4 grandchildren were at my house, and, you know, the police are there. This man did not have a seat buckle on. He was going 80 miles an hour. He landed 150 feet into my yard. The front of the car was just augured down in the earth. He was against the steering wheel, the horn was honking, all the kids woke up. It took them 45 minutes to get this unconscious person out of the car. And he was taken to Memorial Hospital. If he wouldn't have been so drunk, he would have died. Like I said, this is I have pictures. This was before we moved in. Knollwood and the county street departments knew that this was a bad intersection. This is a pickup truck in a tree. And the paramedics said it was hard to climb up that tree to get this man out of the pickup truck. Now, everyone I talk to, I say, what about a fender bumper, something, just something to stop these cars from projecting into our yard. They're not just coming in casually, they are flying in. This is what it looks like. This is the fence. Nobody pays for this. They don't have insurance. Here's the paramedics. There were three fire trucks at my house to get this man out of his car. And no one has an answer for me. I've talked to St. Joe County Road Services. I got a lecture from Chip about how a guardrail would hurt someone, and he does, nobody wants to take responsibility. The Eckridge brothers, they're going to get back to me. The county engineer, Sky Meadows, I talked to him. He's going to get back to me too. But he's concerned because he doesn't want anyone to get hurt. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to die in my backyard. And I'm afraid that, this usually happens late at night, but it could happen in the afternoon. People drink and drive, let's face it. This last guy that was passed out had just dropped off 3 children. 3 children could have been in my backyard hurt. I'm a nurse, my husband's a doctor. We couldn't get in the car. The doors were, slammed shut. They had to get the jaws of life to get him out of there. Nobody can help me. I've said, what about water barrels up at the intersection? No, that just wouldn't look right. We've got to do something here. Everybody's going to get back to me. I called the city council, and finally, Mr. File called me back. Thank you. But my own district, I wrote him an email, I called, nobody answers me. And we just sit here in car after car. The last 2 were 2 weeks apart, and then July 16th was the last one. July 18th, it was just a near miss. The car came inches from coming down. And nobody has an answer for me. Any suggestions from you people? I'm in the medical field. I don't know what I can do.
Mr. Martin?
The pictures?
I'm sorry?
Can I see the pictures?
Sure.
Can't see them this far away.
Mr. Martin?
Yes, Mr. Catanzaro.
Yeah, I'm noticing, again, I'm zooming in remotely. I'm very familiar with the intersection. That ends in what used to be the Dr. Ecker property on Ironwood. Late Dr. Ecker. I see Sky Meadows is on the call. I don't know if Sky could address this. She's mentioning Chip. I know Chip's been gone for a while, Chip Porter. Maybe Sky would be of help to us in this situation. She's on the call.
That's the car. And he got out of the car and ran.
Did that come through?
Yes, we can hear you. Sky, can you hear Mr. Catan's right?
Yes, Sky Metters, Department of Infrastructure Planning and Growth. Office is on the 7th and 11th floor of this building. I did talk to the speaker
Yes.
earlier this week, and
Yes.
we did do an accident study out there. There are, in the past 4 to 5 years, I think there's been 6 accidents that have reports, no fatalities. I think the key word that was mentioned was intoxicated drivers. And guardrail will not work at this instance. Guardrail is not made to be made for this type of thing. It's made to keep people on the road going parallel. It's not made to keep people hitting in a T-type formation. And this isn't necessarily either what the barrels of water are for either. It's a situation where the subdivision and parcel came in after the road, and they're in a situation at this T intersection that it's just a bad situation. The warrants, it's nothing else out there. We've gone above and beyond the warrants required for this. We actually put LED flashing stop signs out there last year, and those have been out there. That's above and beyond what is warranted for this intersection. It's one of those things where if people are paying attention and obeying the law, it doesn't seem to be as big of an issue. And there's nothing from a warrant standpoint that we're actually required to do. I did tell the speaker that I would look and see what other counties have done at similar type intersections to see if
Right.
there's any ideas that we may not be looking at currently. And our highway engineer, Mike Meeks, is currently looking into that.
Okay. Yes, you did say that, and that was 2 weeks ago.
Yes,
people-
and I apologize, but
Yeah, I know. Everybody's going to get back to me. But
Well,
people
2 weeks.
we need to do something. And everyone tells me that if I put up, stakes or something and someone gets hurt, that I'm liable. I'm trying to protect my property. Now, something's got to give.
Sometimes on a highway, they put a ditch, so that
Right.
you can't transfer from one side of a highway to the other and kill somebody. I don't know what the...
And there's enough room to put a ditch there, and I've mentioned that too. So the
I don't know
cars,
what
instead
the-
of
I don't know what the legal
shooting up.
situation is on that, but I mean...
Yeah.
The purpose of that on a regular highway is to keep you from doing what's going on.
Right,
there.
right. And they just, they're going so fast and they hit that hill and, they're in my yard.
What is currently there is a
A flashing stop.
small drainage swale and then a big berm. These people are going so fast through this intersection, going through the stop signs,
Right.
hitting this big berm that's,
Right.
I'd say the berm's about 8 to 10 feet high, 6
Yes.
to 8 feet high, and then going into the yard. A ditch isn't going to deter that. We have an issue where people are intoxicated. And the accidents that occurred this year, we've gotten the reports. Both of those were intoxicated drivers, and a ditch in this case would not have stopped those drivers from ending up in the speaker's backyard.
It probably wouldn't have stopped the third one because he was going 80 miles an hour. But the other two, it would have stopped him because the front wheels would go down before they hit that upswing.
But then we also have to look at, is a ditch something that's going to cause issues with other normal day drivers if they sort of go off the road also? Are we doing something that might impact the driver that isn't following the rules and isn't an everyday occurrence and causing more problems with people that might just sort of slightly go off the road? A ditch in this area isn't going to help with the issue.
Is that your fire pit right there in the back?
I'm sorry.
Is that a fire pit right there?
No, that's where they tore up the landscape.
Oh, in one of the pictures, it looked like there was something back there.
No, we have a our yard, it's a nice yard, but which one are you looking at? One of these
I'm
pictures?
just looking from overhead, but one of the
Okay,
pictures.
this here. This one?
Yeah, what is that?
That was our yard, which is, it was all landscape, but it was, this is the first car that went through.
And that's in that, well, like northeast corner?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
this is the corner. There was a tree here and all kinds of landscaping and flowers and everything. He came down through it, and he drove around and was building up speed, trying to get back out the same way he came. So he hit sprinklers and tore up everything, and then he ran. So the police were there with canine dogs going through the area, trying to find the guy that was running, and nobody ever found him. And then he said his car was stolen, so he's not responsible. So every time, I don't know what to say. I'm just frustrated and no one will help. They all, they're worried about somebody is going to get hurt with a guardrail or a bucket of water. I don't know what to do. But they knew about this. They knew about it before they sold us the lot and we built a home. So people are going to get back to me?
I give you a card. I don't have an answer for you tonight,
Okay.
but work with Sky, we'll find out what can happen, then yes, we'll have an answer. It may not be the answer you like, I don't know, but we'll come up with an answer.
It may not be the answer I like. You mean you might not be able to keep cars out of my backyard?
I'm not an expert
No,
on traffic
no,
control.
I'm just saying, though, do you think as a reasonable person that there should be some way to prevent this?
From hearing your side of the story tonight, yes. So
Okay.
I think I'm going to look into this and try to see what we can do, but I can't tell you right now what that answer or what that solution's going to be.
All right, I just appreciate somebody saying they're going to get back to me and try and just not feel sorry for me and say there's not much we can do.
We don't want it to have to make you move. We're going to fix what we can, make it as best we can.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, wait a minute. Please take the roll.
Oh, no. I thought it was done.
Mark's fault.
Mr. Krasinski? Yes. Mr. Nolan?
No.
He's not here.
Mr. File?
Aye.
Ms. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Fegg?
Yes.
Mr. Catanzarite?
Yes.
Mr. Cannarecki?
No.
Yes. Mr. Root? Yes. President Morton?
Yes.
The motion to adjourn passes 7-2.
Thank you. Let the record
Until
show,
next time, Joe.
Try
let the record show that
be
the motion to adjourn
that?
was passed
Should
by
allow
7
me
to 2.
better.
Yeah.
The two that wish to stay, have at it.
I find it better.
Thank you very much.
It's sweat everybody out.
Ten-minute break.
Yeah, we don't want that pizza to go to waste.
Well, Steve paid for it.
Mark, if you can hear us, we're going to take a 10-minute break.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah. There's deficit every time, right, are they?
The six, I think he was just using the number I gave him, wasn't he? The $6 million deficit.
No.
I don't know, I've seen this few meetings where I have a bad idea for him to stick around.
Poor John Murphy, he's gonna need a cart soon.
in person. Yeah.
It comes from Oxia. Did you not see a letter from Oxia? There'll be an Oxia envelope. It'll be an Oxia envelope. You didn't get it, I'll double check the claims. But
I mean, Kendra did a great job, didn't he?
I have a wonderful staff.
She did. Well, I got this stuff from this dollar thing.
Oh, the MetLife.
Yeah.
The MetLife,
Maybe before I
wellness.
got home.
Wellness, yeah. But no, it'll come from Oxia to you. So if you get a letter from Oxia, open it up. Just probably will check. I'll double check that. See, because it'll be a more process. Registry is a little tricky. I'll double check that. But it'll come through Oxia, like your DOT's company. But it'll be a check. Nobody makes the money that Brian does.
I think Bobby K's got like 4 pensions.
I was gonna say, he's not counting on that.
Yeah. No, one of his pensions is that much money, but put them all together, Social
I
Security.
was gonna ask you, who's the relation that lives on, how, to you? The person that does that?
Oh, that's like half of it?
Yeah, is it Chris's
Sure,
son?
yeah, yes, that's it, yeah.
I haven't seen any activity going there. He's there every day. I haven't seen him, but when you go by their house, you know, there's nothing moved or anything. He was going at it pretty hard there.
Anything going on and out. Yeah, kids.
I know, I know.
Can't keep track of my own. What do you got?
Oh, you got it, 7. You got 7? Really? I've had 4, but not previous marriage. I have 1 daughter from my previous marriage. We have 3 and a half together. I'm sure it's so hot. It's only 3 kids on our insurance. Got kids are 2 over here. 22-year-old daughters in Vegas. 19-year-olds on the second year to do. 15-year-old still here. He's got a job at Martin. 13-year-old son. My 2 daughters are 13. Preston's 3 and a half.
You got Ross.
Yeah. That's why that 20 ain't around. On her side. They were in here already doing some work. Do a little bit more, put it all on the same foot. Even after we did that, she actually, she came to me this far. She came to me a year later and says, you know, I said, I love the debt. I mean, we got a great house, but it's like, if my whole little 10-year plan works and he gets out of here at 57, I said, Preston's only gonna be 15. I couldn't fathom that. It's 7's enough.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not trying to be like 60 years old in high school.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I think about it.
Oh, I will be. Well, we got a great family. I mean, everything worked out for a reason. And you know, it's really, I don't want to say difficult, it's challenging because Preston's so young. He is around just such a span of different age groups. So he's learning so many different things. And it's, you know, it's great that your kids would be more advanced like that. But it makes it more of a hand.
Yeah. So we were lucky, we got, you know, I brought one, my wife brought one, you know, it's supposed to raise 24.
Right.
And then we got 2 together, but they're not even that.
Oh, wow, that's big.
Older boy, older girl, younger boy, younger girl. Very good. Hi, buddy. Hey, why don't you just bring that? Hey, hold on, Jen. Why don't you just leave it on there?
I can, I will.
I got a new grandkid, so, actually. I got a 24-year-old, so it's not. You have papers for us, you can have it.
I do. Good.
Pile of shit everywhere. It's an easier shot for these guys from there. Clear shot. Did you get, Steve, an opportunity to look at the budget chart here from Councilman File? Yeah.
Building maintenance. Again?
The deficit numbers aren't right, are they? The six, I think you were just using the number I gave him, wasn't he? The $6 million deficit that I projected with an
Yeah,
83
but you
million.
got the 2022 is 4.9 deficit.
That was originally our projection, that's probably a little narrower. Revenues are a little. If we went into the year thinking it was going to be too high.
Hey, I told Buddy, I'm thinking of us designing
I think
a
it'll be
t-shirt
You're gonna get 10 minutes.
for EMA to give the volunteers to be out listening for sirens in their neighborhood. So think of a name like EMA Ranger.
Shouldn't take too much time.
Or dark like grass.
We're playing the grass again?
Yeah, the last time I tried to look at it, it had lights on.
It rained last night, now you gotta have mud.
You ain't got a neighbor kid that'll do that for you? No?
Nobody wants to live by it.
You said it, I did.
And that's all right by me.
John, how are you? Huh? Yeah. Yeah, that's like, I mean, I'm just gonna update, so if a question comes, if it's coming from this line. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
My wife's on, so my wife was walking. So, she's trying to be consulting the kids.
This was the one that was walking.
How could you have to update your finance?
I think it's once a month now,
Yeah.
because I've had to do it a lot lately. Ask Richard, hey, how often do we have to update our wireless passwords?
The wireless password? Yeah.
Once a month?
Every 90 days.
90 days, there you go.
I know that's surprising. You can't go fast. I put that.
Capital P, use capital P.
Okay.
I told him 4.5. And he's got a stopwatch, so.
Put them up there, both up to the, that wasn't part of. Did?
All right, we can get you credit for work.
7,000. So she wanted to, she was willing to give up on her, which one to give her a big business. He said, no. So she said, let's try out. What did we do?
Less than
We'll
five.
just let her, so we took her 70 from 61, 61, 70. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Brian, you're up.
Good afternoon, Council. Brian Davidson, Building Engineer for St. Joseph County. Office is located at 227 West Jefferson in the basement. After our last meeting, we had what our department proposed. Some questions came up and some different ideas came out that I think were good ideas, and we kind of leaned more towards that when we rewrote this. The numbers that were changed to our budget were basically just the staff. We increased.
Hey, John or Steve?
Yeah. Yes, Mark?
Mr. Morton?
All right. We're muted.
Put down the hand.
I get it.
Mr. Morton, wave if you can hear me.
We got you now, Mark.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry. Okay, well, that pretty much wraps it up for tonight. Okay.
Do you want me to repeat, or?
You're fine.
Okay.
Introduce yourself, Mark.
Took into good consideration on suggestions that were made to change a little bit on how we wrote that, and what we did is we increased salaries in a larger amount than what I initially proposed, because initially we proposed that we give raises to the people here to try to keep their interest to stay here, and also increase wages to entice people to come from the outside. Our base pay for maintenance pay was originally $32,165, and we were proposing $36,802. What we did, we had 13, well, at the time, 12 positions open, and the suggestion was made to lessen the amount of employees that we have so we could increase those salaries, and that's what we did. So we brought the base pay, I technically am 12 down at the time. As of the 14th of this month, I'll be one more down. We are going to fill 6 of those full-time Class 1 maintenance positions at $38,000 as an entry-level position, as opposed to the 68 or the $36,802. I bumped all salaries that are here already that have been here for a number of years. We gave them a base salary of $42,165. That includes the staff that I have at the jail, the staff that I have here at the County City Building Complex, and the 2 staff that we have at the JJC for their maintenance positions. Housekeeping supervisor was moved up to $37,000. Our executive secretary is at $41,500. Mail clerks, because they're in the same line item as supervisor for housekeeping, I bumped them up to $37,000 as well. Part-time security and housekeeping, those folks all made $16.41 an hour, and I'm proposing to bumping them up to $18 an hour. That's the changes that I made based on your folks' recommendations.
32.
32, excuse me.
Yeah.
What's that, what do we figure that is for an hour?
I don't know if IT a lot likes that. I mean, I don't think,
Kinda just spun around back there.
yeah, I mean, we've been told that that's not preferred to access, because you bring viruses and stuff on with your own computers. What's that? Okay, well, we can talk about it a little further, but we've been doing it. I mean, we've been working from home if it need be, if there's some kind of emergency.
You say it's possible to be 1 or 2 days a week.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, is that not something you guys? I mean, I guess we can talk about it a little bit more, but I don't see a real, I mean, I think a totally remote wouldn't make sense for us, but I think there are occasions when remote work is allowable, I think.
Is salary or hourly? You salary employees, right?
Currently, yes.
Is there,
Like myself.
I'm not an attorney, but is there a way to adjust employment on that?
No, because you log into Kronos, you log in wherever you are. You log to your laptop.
Tracking time.
Yeah, we're tracking time. We can talk about that. It sounds like that's something you don't care for. We can, let's keep moving on then, I guess. We do have an opportunity to select a new chief deputy auditor. I've got a person in mind, but I can't share the name, but it'd be somebody with a 4-year accounting degree in government. We can't afford Steve. But this person would have a lot of budgeting and financial reporting, which is what we need. I think we're pretty set on the property tax side. We have Kathy Gregorich and Patty Henry and Marilla Carmola. They're all 3 really well versed on the property tax side. I think we're not as we don't have much of a depth on the finance side. We have a really small finance department. It's really basically Katie and me, and, you know, that's really what we have, and a payroll person. We also are going to, we talked about this with other funds, we're using the county elected officials training fund to, rather than the general fund for training. For us, the training would generally be the auditors' conferences, which are held in the spring and the fall, and also sometimes the Government Finance Officers Association meetings, which we hold. So the overall budget is not a very high increase. We are moving people around. Happy to answer any questions that you have. That was decided to be 70,000, equal to the clerk. It was, when Mike was in charge of IT, it was 64,000. When he was not in charge of IT, it got dropped to 54,911. And so the auditor is no longer in charge of IT. That was a change made 2021. I make the deputy auditor's salary of 80,000. It's 70. It goes to 70. To attract the kind of person that you need in a deputy role, you need a salary of 82,400. You need that.
But I mean, your salary, what we said.
Right. So I don't want to reduce that because you need to be competitive with everybody else. You need that kind of salary for a top-notch person. I have ideas on how we can make the budgeting process even better. It's good. Don't get me wrong, it's fine. We can add to it. We can add reports to it. We can do a better budget book. There's a lot of things that we can do, but we need the horsepower to do it. Any other questions?
Any other questions for Mr. Murphy? Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Thanks. You don't? Oh, I thought you did, you know. Well, thanks, you're welcome. Good, well, thank you. Thanks.
Other questions for the, didn't make a whole lot of changes department, and kept it really thin department? Good job, Dan. With your permission, I'd like to move to IT. We can keep your own budget until last, so everybody's sitting here doesn't have to wait any longer. Clerk, can you join us for the IT first? Make sure you introduce yourself to everyone.
How you guys doing? Richard Warfield, IT Director. In regards to my budget, I know it's kind of aggressive, but it's we are seriously lacking in our IT department. Put it in perspective, where I came from, we supported half the users and we had double the staff as we have right now. So my guys are getting burned out, and, you know, we just need to add and make our department better for the county to support all the departments we have out there.
I personally learned this morning that, you know, there's 2 employees besides Richard that are staffing IT. I was surprised for 1,300 employees.
Yes, it is. It is. We have a total of, after myself, we have 4 other people that work with me. One is primarily at the jail and for the PD. The other ones are pretty much doing everything that they can to keep afloat. So.
One that's a
Yes.
And not that I'm trying to, do you agree with or believe that the upgrades happening in the last 5, 6 years would actually stabilize it? We don't have to keep adding IT people in perpetuity. Things are getting older. The equipment, everybody said it was one of the.
Refresh, be a refresh.
Yeah. So things are getting newer. Does that help? Does that hurt? How do you see that playing?
Well, the problem is things are always getting newer. So anything that is brought into the county or any new program that a department is looking at, everything touches IT for the most part nowadays. So unfortunately, we'll never stop needing people to support things just because things move at the speed of light in IT for the most part.
I'm trying to get some reference point as to how many people are in this department run the simple and diagram. How many people you want to run the same department?
Well, currently, we have 3 positions that's open that's available to hire for, which one I want to, coming up, I want to not hire for one and kind of make sure, try to boost up the salary of the other 2. So eliminate one position and add to the salary of the other 2 to kind of keep them on board.
I guess I'm still not clear on how many people he had working for him, because he went over the RP, right?
Yes.
So you replaced him, so that's 1 for 1, so I'm trying to figure out what size department he had when he left versus what size department you want.
If he was fully staffed, he would have 3 more people than what we have right now. So he'll have a total, including himself, of 8 people.
Was how many total
8.
authorized? That's 8 authorized, you could say.
Yes.
And then how many actual?
Actual, right now, we're down 3, so we have a total of 5 people, including myself.
Dick, this is all on page 5.
Okay, which page 5? Okay, what's that?
The big 5.
The big one.
That is kind of challenging.
Okay. It's on page, the big 5, okay.
So he's authorized for 8, he's requesting an authorization of 12 for next year.
Well, that, I don't get it. Why do we need 4 more people to run the same department that I last time around?
Our department is lacking. We're spending a lot of money on vendors that they're not supporting us the way we need to be supported. I'm asking for someone to be a dedicated, with the big thing on cybersecurity right now, we cannot keep up on that with the current staff we have. We are behind on our server upgrades, behind on our network upgrades. So with this constant battle, all it would take is for something to get into the county, and then I would just be blasted all over the news.
Could it be possible that 1 full-time person could take care of cybersecurity?
No, we need, we need, what I am requesting is still kind of understaffed for what we have right now.
I guess what you're saying is the last guy had nothing.
Yeah, I do not, I always tell the guys,
We're running with no pants on as far as cybersecurity, right?
for the most part, yes.
Well, I mean, is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, we were very struggling to begin with, previous years, so.
Okay, so maybe that's a couple people, but I guess we've got several to go now.
So would this eliminate any of your vendors that you're?
Yes, this would eliminate a lot of the vendors that we have.
Yeah, but where does that show up in the budget?
Did you cover the technology innovations line, I'm sorry? That was at 361, and it goes to, it doesn't change. What is that?
Technology innovations.
Where are our contractual services in that?
That is not a line item that's on here, so everything is kind of encumbered under the technology innovations line item.
So if we do have the opportunity to eliminate contract and vendor support, would that drop?
That would definitely drop, yes.
Did you used to work at Nylon?
I did work at Nylon Craft.
Yeah.
I did. That was Yeah.
I worked across the street at CNP.
Yep, I was there all the time. Yes, yes.
It's not clear to me what you're gonna reduce on the part of the contract people here to offset all these extra people. I'm not seeing anything help you with that.
Yeah, there's nothing spelled out, but because we don't have the line item.
You don't have a number.
Right, we don't have the line items. I'm still going through, like, we have a lot of monthly vendors that we're using. Like, for one, we're paying $3,000 per month. Another, we're paying $1,800 a month.
But I can't do a budget, you know, what we're talking about.
Yeah, and I can definitely get you those numbers and those contracts we have.
I get those numbers to me before I can say that whether or not I like their budget.
Richard, when did you take this position?
Less than a month ago.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
So I'm still
I get
gathering
it.
everything.
We're asked to make decisions in the next few days or weeks, and we don't have enough numbers. So all of that,
That is correct, yes. Okay.
And there's also cost on page 4 in the cumulative capital development. That's also some IT costs as well.
He has two funds he pays contractual services out of. In both cases, they're exactly called contractual services, they're called information technology.
Is that 698,000?
It is. And Richard's gonna check and see how much of that 698 might be reduced if he gets some of these new staff.
Yes,
Is it
yes.
accurate that neither of those lines have anything expended in 21?
Yeah, because this is a brand new department. We set up 14 as a separate department.
It's a brand new department, but we've had the department for a long time, so we got data on the last department.
We do, yeah, we do. Private. Well, we don't budget health insurance in the general fund in the individual departments. We budget separately in location 40.
It's a $225,000 increase for 19%.
For those wanting to do a comparison across years, in 2021, the auditor's office paid technology out of their budget of $885,000. So that was bumped out of the auditor's office, and now you see it in the two new locations.
That was what year?
2021.
Okay, so that comes to like 222.
That's right. 22 is kind of a new way of doing things with IT standalone.
Only comment I have, we don't have enough data to respond to tonight.
And I definitely can get that.
We can send that around. We don't have to have a necessarily meeting. Richard can update it, and we can send it around to everybody. Whatever reductions he sees that be able to reduce out of his contract services.
With the restructuring, it looks like you're kind of thinking about, you're adding the 4 new positions, it's just admin and network admin, the help desk and telephone, is that right?
That is correct.
And that work previously was just kind of slapdash done by technicians, I guess?
Technicians, and we are going through a phone upgrade now through a company called Presidio that we could have done ourselves if we had the staff and had the
What's that cost?
98,000, I believe I saw the last price tag on that.
So this will be for a future,
Yes.
that we're incurring now.
Is that labor and equipment?
That is, yes, that's labor and equipment, yes. And these are positions that if you look, every department, county, city, private sector, they all have these positions in their, on their IT staff. So this is nothing out of the ordinary that I'm asking for. This is kind of par for the course with an IT department.
But that would say that our last IT department didn't have a chance.
I will not comment on the last IT department and what happened beforehand, but Yeah,
And we got a lot of old equipment that we have to jack up, I understand that.
Started up pretty small under the auditor. It wasn't even really. So, but anyway, so this, it sounds to me like you're trying to light this so that, there'll be better service for the town employees and ultimately the expense will be reduced to the extra.
that is correct.
I mean, I think you help, I agree. You have to agree help.
I think
But
some
we
of
go
this,
around and we say to our department, if you get enough help to get rid of somebody, we don't get volunteers.
I don't think you're gonna realize these cost savings now, because these are future contracts that you won't have to get because we have a talent here.
That should maybe reflect in the.
You can't, but you can't know what you haven't spent because you didn't spend it. I think that's gonna be the difficulty of presenting it in this budget, is he can't know what he's not going to spend because he hasn't spent it yet, because he has the staff to not spend it.
I say that, I gotta write that down.
There's
There are known knowns, there are unknowns.
well,
Did you say earlier that when you came from, which is Elkhart County?
Mm-hmm. Elkhart, city of Elkhart.
Elkhart City?
Mhm.
Didn't you say that then you were serving a lot less than
Ha-
departments,
Half the employees with, half the,
departments with twice the employees?
yes,
You did say that.
yes.
You did hear that, Mr. Cloud.
Yeah, I heard that, well,
I mean, South Bend has probably,
means we're running really.
Yeah, in reference, South Bend has 34 people in their IT department.
Last part, say that last
I said South Bend has 34 people in their IT department.
I mean, those are, to me, those are two telling, probably not our goal.
No, we don't, we,
Definitely not our goal. But I mean, that, you know, to me, when you talk about city of South Bend, city of Elkhart, you know, everybody wants to always compare what our neighboring counties or cities are doing. You know, and you're saying, hey, you were serving half the department with
yes,
twice the people.
with twice the people.
South Bend has 34 employees.
South Bend has 34 employees. Yeah,
Right now, we got 5, come on.
we have 5, yes.
Give me a freaking break.
So you
Yeah.
guys all need to work 6 times now.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously, come on.
It is, I'm not sure how they kept their head above water, to begin with, but,
Yeah, we're in the
Tell
salt.
the truth, I'm not knocking any of those guys.
right.
They do very well for what they have to work at, let's just tell the truth.
And the problem is they're getting burnt out now, so it's kind of showing in their attitudes and, and the things they're doing, so.
My main question back to you is, I just think that from the way you're presenting this, we should see a reduction in this outside cost.
Yes,
And I can't make any
And
comment.
he says he's gonna get that to you, Mr. Cloud.
That's right.
I would get numbers.
But I get it, I'll look at it.
Okay, thank you.
Derek had a question.
Is, with your proposed salaries for the people you need, will that get good people to apply? Or you-
Yes, that will get we will get good candidates in with that, salary. If we go any lower than that, we won't get, get anybody that, unfortunately with IT, you have to get talent in, to be,
Is that
on par.
comparable to Elkhart? Or-
yes, that is comparable to Elkhart. Yes, yes.
Corey, what was your last comment?
Just, we keep talking about how this line's going down, and there will be, I would like, I'm not making this case for it, but if you get more better people, and they're all working well, then yes, there should be a reduction in the IT services. But every day, there's more shit they gotta take care of. And they don't actually take care of mine, but everybody that works in the council, don't get election. I get it, it's more and more. Probably one of the fastest growing departments. Right. Right.
As soon as John's people take their own computers home.
Yeah.
He's gonna be another guy just for that. You guys track.
okay, I won't work with service against it.
Yes, we have a tracking system, for all of the, help desk requests.
Could you give us like any history on how
Yeah.
volume might have changed?
I can definitely get that to you. That is tracked in our help desk system, so yes.
That'd be good too.
And
Yeah.
you track like resolutions and stuff too then?
Yes, we track when we close the ticket and why we close the ticket, so.
Yeah.
That I do know, we do track that, so.
Because that kind of would put, data behind what Corey's saying. I mean, the need for IT is not diminishing.
I'm sorry, what was that?
But code
Yeah.
enforcement gave us the call volume to help make a decision. Right. Well, and hopefully you present it clearly if you have that data, because one of the things that might be overtelling too would be the resolution time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if we start seeing as volume's increasing, the time is increasing, so it's taking more time to resolve people's service tickets. Now what's happening is we're having lost production in other departments.
Good point.
Right.
So spending
Good
money
point.
here makes
Excellent point.
other places more productive.
I mean, because right now I can literally put one person in each department and keep them busy. So, we deal with the prosecutors, with JJC, the police department, probation. All these are big departments that require a lot of assistance that we just cannot cover with them right now. Yeah.
I don't know if it's relevant to this conversation, if you guys can hear me, but this morning when I was on the phone with one of Mr. Warfield's employees who was helping me through a IT issue, he has notifications on his phone for help desk tickets. Well, while he was talking to me, his phone continuously dinged, and it was help desk requests that were coming into him. In a matter of 10 minutes that I was on the phone, I think his phone dinged out 10 or 20 different rings that he was getting requests for help. That's just one of the employees that was in the office this morning. So I can't imagine how inundated these guys are with work right now, and I hate to see them get burnt out and lose them, because it sounds like they're very talented, and seems like what Mr. Warfield's proposing isn't unreasonable. That's my 2 cents from long distance.
Thank you.
Anything else? You go back to us on some numbers?
I will get back to you guys on some numbers, and hopefully that'll help out.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you guys.